The history of Jonathan Edwards can be interpreted through the many lenses of the authors who wrote about him. His legacy is considered to be America's most important and original philosophical theologian. His absolute sovereignty of God and the beauty of God's holiness seem to be two themes that surround Edwards' life. These historical approaches intend to understand not only the life and history of Jonathan Edwards, but to capture the essence of a great man, a man with a complicated life, past and present, a man who was a brilliant thinker, and to understand his most important philosophical theology, which was the absolute sovereignty of God and God's holiness. The history of Jonathan Edwards changed over the years, and more people began to study his life and legacy. In the Edwards of history and the Edwards of faith, his historical account of the two different Edwards, the historical and faith-filled Edwards, seemed to show Edwards wrestling with the secularism of his day and pressing to establish the foundations of biblical truth. His analysis of the man of Edwards is his great faith and Calvinistic convictions and the seriousness for which Edwards took his religion. This paper keeps drawing a distinction between the theology of Edwards and the historical Edwards. The reception of Edwards, a history and the work of redemption in the 19th century, was a narrative written about the findings of an original manuscript of Jonathan Edwards' book, A History of the Work of Redemption, was found, and a book about this book was written to show how Edwards' work was both missionary and educational. For Edwards' redemption work was intertwined with divinity. In Jonathan Edwards' philosophy of history, the reenchantment of the world in the Age of Enlightenment, the author is reviewing Edwards through the context of enlightenment and one of the first explorations of his philosophical historical life. This source says that Edwards wanted to bring back the sovereignty of God that had been diminished throughout history. Crisp and Strobel, experts in studying Edwards, take a comprehensive approach to Edwards' philosophical and theological themes in his life, how his approach to the doctrine of divinity, his theological of God and creation, and his strong belief in salvation and atonement. They take a contextual look at Edwards' life through the classical and dispositional ontology. They include the book to ask the question, how relevant would Edwards be in today's world? Many readers dispute this interpretation of Edwards' theological and philosophical shortcomings, however. Thank you.